This will be a quick overview review of my Polish Lavvu, my Seek Outside titanium wood stove. I got a couple cool add-ons that I had to specially order. I staked out, if you could tell, I tied two guy lines on my chimney stack with some bank line. I planned on sewing two zippers into this setup, which I didn't do yet, but I got two 60-inch boat zippers, YKK, to sew on. There is two doors on here. So, here's the stove, all burnt out. And there's my spark arrestor. I was planning on trying to make one, but when I priced out sheets of titanium off of eBay and doing tons of searching, I found this box, which you'll see differently, from Russia. So I specially ordered that from Russia, and it fits and functions flawlessly with the Seek titanium stove. It does a bunch of awesome stuff. It retains all the heat you're losing out of your chimney pipe. It eliminates sparks going out your chimney pipe and falling down and melting holes in your shelter systems, which you don't really have to worry about with a fire retardant canvas like a Polish Lavvu. I use a center pole. I use a trekking pole as my center pole, which I don't know why I don't see people do this with the Polish Lavvu, but I love using trekking poles in hiking, but in all my shelters. So back on this awesome appliances I got. And there is a titanium tent protector, it's called, that I had to special order from Sweden. It's made by Winterwell, and I don't know why the heck they wouldn't sell them or have them available in the US. But again, I did some more digging researching for that purchase also, and I ironically found these simultaneously. The spark arrestor smokestack robber in Russia, and the tent protector from Winterwell in Sweden. And I ordered those. And this is just such a great setup. I slept like a baby last night in 20 degrees, high 20s. I got my army wool blanket in here. That's just pretty much all I needed. And I was laying on top of my One Tigress. Got a One Tigress Nordic Defender mummy bag. It's for -15, so if things ever get crappy, it keeps you warm. It's all duck down, 1,000-gram duck down feathers. It's freaking top of the line sleeping bag for such a cheap price. I mean, I think there's nothing that could beat that. Here's my little fold-up thermarest pack pillow. The whole thing rolls up and stuffs in this little pouch. I'm gonna pack everything up and show everybody afterwards, but there's another little pillow. The camp pillow from Thermarest. Climate X. Of course, I got underneath all that, I did a pad just to keep me warm. Thermarest body foam pad. And I got the Desert Walker camp cot. This thing is sick. It is like a I forgot the names of them. They're really high quality, hundreds and hundreds of dollar ones. And this one's like not even $100. Super duper nasty quality. But that is the tent protector. It's got two little titanium rings. You snap them around the chimney pipe, and then you wrap this titanium sheeting around it, and they just clamp on very lightly with those screws, and that's all you got to do. And I tested this all out in my backyard because I haven't even done this before. Didn't know how it was going to work, how it was going to function, if I was going to catch on fire. I had no doubt in my mind it was going to work great, but I wanted to test it all out. All right, I'm going to pack some stuff up and show you what we were looking like, all broken down. Polish Lavvu. Just one more thing, I use the U.S. military half pup ponchos, which are super small, crappy shelters, but they're really tough, waterproof rubber membranes. They make the best ground sheet. Completely waterproof, insulated feeling. I mean, they're great. Rock for the bottom. So moving back on the stove, I have more of an in-depth look at some stuff here. So this is the flue collar, and typically this drops right in on the top of the stove. But I got this badass, bear with me. Alright, there we go. That is the spark arrestor box. 3-inch coupler, fits right in on top, bam. No modifications. The only thing I did to this from Russia, there's these little tabs, focus, right there. And they're all spot welded. 2 little tiny tabs, they're locking tabs. I was able to pull it right off with my Leatherman. And this thing just pops right in. The chimney piece drops right in there, as you saw. And typically, would typically drop right in there on the top of the stove. So that was another cool thing, is I've had this Seek stove for going on almost 5 years. I've been using it a lot. I burned the old stove setup, and you can see in there they really welded those better, spot welded those. I got this piece for free in the mail. They sent me back my replacement. This one broke. This was the original one I had, and it had really thin spot welds on there. Barely see it. And for whatever reason it got hot. It came apart. Called Seek. They sent me one right out, no problem, free. But when I got this piece in the mail, the one in there, I was like, oh crap, how does that go back in there? No problem. I was able to fish it through that crazy S-turn bend I put on there myself to try to make it work. It actually works great. Instead of a straight piece like they got here. If it ever happens again, I'll just do the same thing on that one. I'll just give it an S-bend, and it puts torsion in both directions so that it works as a flapper without having to be welded, because I'm true function of always making things. Yeah, I was planning on making my spark arrestor box, and once I found the price of this thing shipped from Russia, it was like 50 bucks. I was even going to buy the sheets of titanium, which this is thicker grade than the Seek Outside stove is. They use some heavy duty titanium, which is awesome. That's what you want to help retain more heat. I was going to build one out of stainless steel. Found out it's about $200 an hour to pay people to weld stainless steel, so that wasn't going to happen. And then again, got real lucky finding this score on this titanium spark arrestor, smokestack chimney robber. There's no real specific name for him. But I mean, with that box, there's a screen in here, spark arrestor screen, and then there's an additional spark arrestor screen in my chimney rain cap on the top of the pipe. So in combination of that, if you're using a single wall, real lightweight tent, which I've got, you would hopefully eliminate all possibilities of getting burning embers in your shelter, burning holes in your nice expensive tents. Another cool thing is, a lot of people don't realize you could do mix and mod all kinds of stuff. They look at things at the pictures and oh, that's terrible. Everyone says the Seek stoves limit you from cooktops because the legs or these wing nuts come on top. Well, the wing nuts you could put anywhere, and I bought extra sets of these little flat washers. Typically I'll run the flat washers across the top, and I have a flat cooking surface. They're the feet of the stove. Well, wing nuts work just as good as the feet, and depending on where you are, like I just did here inside my shelter, I just jam these legs down in the soil, and that stove isn't going anywhere. So yeah, I mean, there's so many ways you could do this. You could adjust the legs, like I said, and shove them in the soil. You could put them flat with the top and use the washers. The way I had it set up in the Lavvu, I stuck the legs out the top so that this thing sat flush on the ground. and it singed a little box spot in the grass. I wasn't worried about it catching on fire because the ground is again frozen. It's winter time. I mean, if I was around a bed of leaves in the summertime and there was a drought and high risk of fire, then I'd be worried about it. People don't think very logically sometimes about stuff. I slept with my door the way I showed you when I opened it. I just kind of lashed it over the stake and left the buttons open so that I got some good fresh air ventilation. And I slept cozy in there like a baby, comfy and cozy. So yeah, the Seek stove freaking rocks. I've always loved it. For 2 pounds, packed flat in that bag, I'm going to show you all done. Excuse me. The tent protector packs up in the chimney pipe as well. So all of this stuff is going to pack down in my little stove bag. And now I got an addition of a couple ounces. Stove bare minimum was 2 pounds. And I added this tent protector, which is about, I think, a half an ounce. And then the box, I didn't even weigh it yet. I don't even care. It's not even a half a pound. So that's where we're at right now. That is it all packed up. A little Velcro strap. You roll up the sleeve of the tent protector and these 2 snap rings. Or clip rings, sliding rings. You just unscrew these little screws, you set it up. And I put these little cotton baggies, stuff sacks. I put the all the fittings and those rods Velcro right into the bag. Oh yeah, I got one more tip on the chimney pipe. They come with these little metal loops, and the chimney pipe, when you get it, is very, very unmanageable. You have to roll it with a stick and give it a burn-in so that it holds its shape and its form. So to prevent me from having problems with my expensive chimney pipe, I bought a bunch of the extra little stainless steel, I think they are. They might be titanium metal bands. And I just I order that with extra with my stove. Contact the website. Same thing like the chimney cap, rain cap. And I ordered a bunch extra and put them on all at once. That way it ensures. And if you look at my stovepipe and other people's, theirs is all bent and dinged up, and it's not going to last them long. It's going to start smoking out and having problems, I'm sure. But mine is in pretty darn great shape. And again, I've been burning the hell out of this thing for like 5 years. So I got some long-term use with this bad boy. So that's a really great tip. If you want to preserve your expensive chimney pipe, just buy a couple extra cheap rings and throw them on there, and that definitely preserves your pipe. And there's the chimney pipe rolled up. I put a couple of the rings after I roll it nice and tight. I slide them over, let it open up a little bit, expand. I jam the damper on inside it. And then I take that tent sleeve protector, which now rides in there in the pouch. And that all rides in this nice little carry pack. Here's the stove. All the pieces disassembled, dumped out, cleaned out. Got some ash left behind. And my coffee. Yeah, baby. Love this stuff. And there she's packed up back in the little carry case. You could strap it to the outside of your backpack. Carry it in your bag, whatever you want to do with it. I might make a little pouch or something for the other can, and yeah, it doesn't fit, whatever, not a big deal. It's an accessory. I always rock these lightweight, they're called pruning gloves. Very super lightweight leather, and they're perfect, all you need for the titanium. And I pack those in the bag. That's all I keep extra. I used to keep a little silky saw in there. No more. There's the Lavvu, all rolled up inside the other military poncho, the rubberized one. Just help keep it waterproof. And another reason why I like the trekking poles as a center pole, I use the wrist straps to hang a night light in the tent. This is an awesome little night light. It's a UST splash flash. It's waterproof. You can use it as a beacon out in the ocean or whatever. You can use it for a lot of things, but you could turn it on and off twice, and it starts the signaling mode for SOS. Yeah, this thing runs all night on a little freaking AAA battery. Kicks butt. It's a little extra. And I got some night eyes, gear ties, wrapping up my collapsible trekking poles. If I ever need to, I could extend them together and wrap those ties to it, and it makes it one long, sturdy pole just by strapping them all around it. Those things kick butt too. Here's a quick shot of the chimney pipe taken out. Just pulled it right out of the pop there. I used the bow reel 21 folding saw. That thing's awesome. Just shreds through wood. Processed my firewood. I used a little skim board as a poke sled. Dragged it over. And that is my little camp hatchet hammer. I use it for tent stakes if I need to split wood. I made this Kydex sheath on here, and it is a old school drywall hammer because I am a construction carpenter. Grew up, born and raised, of course, being Canadian, and I filed and shined that edge right up on there. It works great, just for light stuff. Just a little camp hatchet hammer thingy. Works great, you know. That's all I needed. This is that pillow, all compacted, all rolled up, and it goes with my sleeping pad. I wasn't using the sleeping pad, but I always stick it in there, and the pillow and the pad ride together in the pouch. I just wanted to show you how tiny this thing really is. That's the blown up pillow, and then this is that Thermarest pillow I had above it, because I like my comfort. And this bad boy packs that small, and it was all blown out like I showed you. It's got a bunch of recycled foam inside it, like the Thermarest mats. Super comfy, super comfortable. I love that thing. It's got a good denim fleece, almost feeling like, it feels like suede. It feels like a suede pillow. Love it. There's my army wool blanket, all packed up, paracorded, ready to be carried on the bag. My one Tigris mommy bag packed up. And then this bad boy, the Desert Walker cot, packs up like that. And that is a true backpacking camp cot, 2.5 pounds. Again, that is just the coolest thing I could find. It blows away the competitors, the big brand names. Desert Walker, it's like $80 versus like the $280 ones. Super comfortable. Slept like a baby.